Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 80, and today we're doing battle with Diana Aphelios, Nightfall. And so we're calling this one Looks Like a Dragon is Not a Dragon. We'll be featuring the Winding Light today. This is the new Nightfall card out of the World Walker set, and I thought it was a dragon. I never took the time to verify until today to determine that this thing wasn't actually a dragon. It looks like one though. I mean, I guess it doesn't have its wings at this point, but it's got that big mouthy thing eating an earth or something, and so I thought that this guy was actually a dragon. But at any rate, this is what we're going to be trying to work with today. And so, in terms of Nightfall decks, I think that there's actually kind of two flavors of them, right? It's usually either Diana Nocturne or Diana Aphelios. And the Diana Nocturne flavors tend to be much more aggressive, right? You need to be seeing your Nightfall attacks happening to get your Nightfall, or to get your Nocturne going. And then you're also trying to pull off stuff to where you chunk in like big hits with fearsome dogs. That's not what this style of deck does. Whenever you see a deck with Aphelios, you should already kind of get in the back of your head that you're going to be here for a while, right? If you're even at your fastest rate of getting Aphelios flipped, you have to spend 8 mana on these moon weapons, and that's a pretty heavy investment. And so this here in itself is not a particularly aggressive deck. It does have some board control elements to it. Diana is great at controlling a board. We have some decent removal and pings and the Go Hard and the Unspeakable Horrors, but this is the kind of place to where we're going to look to just build up a board, and then we're either going to try to exploit that board with Aphelios to where we are loading up on 2-cost units, killing off our opponent's units with moon weapons, the standard kind of Aphelios-y things, or we want to be taking advantage of that board with the Winding Light. The Winding Light, as we have recently called out, in case you didn't know, in our Poppy series, Poppy prefers to boost 5 units instead of just herself, and the same thing applies to Winding Light. It's much better to get 10 attack out of the Winding Light than it is to get 4 attack, and so ideally we'll have a pretty full board whenever we're dropping the Winding Light, and that's not the kind of thing that you come across if you come down and just sit around and trade away all your units at every opportunity. And so you do have to do a bit of picking and choosing. Ideally, if we're just going to trade, we need to be trading for a high value unit. Otherwise, we'd kind of prefer to just hang back, play it slow, and then let the Winding Light come through and do his thing. And so the next big kind of piece to talk about this is the actual Nightfall activators themselves. We're kind of playing 12 to a degree. Everyone always plays the Lunari Dustbringer. This is the most common Nightfall card that you're going to see, but we're also including Go Hard. This is what will let us activate Diana on turn 2 while still being a pretty decent removal spell, Guiding Touch, and then also playing Unto Dusk. And so what you have to kind of really watch out for yourselves with these style of decks is it's very easy to just kind of spew out your hand, and then you're playing physical Nightfall cards to activate your Nightfalls. And so you don't want to find yourself in the space to where you have to drop a Doom Beast just to activate a Lunari Priestess. There's a lot of kind of give and take and selection and dropping these cycle cards before we get activations from Nightfall. But with that being that, I think that's good enough to get you introduced to the deck. Let's go ahead and jump on in. You all know what we have to do, though. Before we can jump into battle, we do have to go and turn something premium, and it is time for the Winding Light. So weird, this dude. He's not celestial. He's not a dragon. He's eating a planet, right? That looks like what's happening here. I don't know. Maybe this elf girl down here threw a moonball at his face or something. But he looks pretty sizable. Looks pretty much to be a dragon to me. But what do I know? I don't know. Not my place to say. Not my place to say. Alrighty, let's get to it. Where are we at? Not Path of Champions. I've been playing quite a bit of Path of Champions. I've been having quite a bit of fun with it. Have to see if we can't start circling around to the Path of Champions content here at some point. Still haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it, but I definitely want to get involved. It's been fun. They did a real nice piece of work there. Of course, everyone on Reddit's bitching about shards or something. I feel like you're gonna be able to buy shards at some point. Riot's gonna be like, hey, I want to make some money. let's get these shard things going. But all right, here starting off against Bard Nar, we're going to start looking for the Dustbringers. We want to find Dianas, and we want to find Sky Shadows. And so if we are playing against something that would probably have 1 health units in it, we could hang on to the Unspeakable Horror. But otherwise, those are the 3 units we want to be finding in our opener. Let's get him. Might just find ourselves dropping this turn to Aphelios here. Oh, you can't do that. don't try it. Don't try it. I start doing that thing to where I get to counting and I'm like, cool, we can make Aphelios cost 2 next turn, and that's just not how the game works. I should have just done it so you all could learn. You learn from me. That's why you all are way ahead of me on the Masters chart. You've already learned from the mistakes of old FTP bust. All right, dude has a card. Sounds good to me. I don't think we need to drop the Unspeakable Horror on this just yet. I'm like, it is nice in that it's one of the few units we can actually kill with an Unspeakable Horror, but I want to get Aphelios down next turn, and we're just not going to have time to get all of that going. So, not entirely sure what this guy's doing, but I don't suspect we're going to get to attack with Aphelios, so we'll just go ahead and open, and then I'll Dusk Petal him onto the board. Looking for the unit one. Where you at? Where you at? Summon a 2-cost unit. Okay. Whoa, dude's hitting a lot of chimes. That's a little scary here. We don't interact too well with boards like this. Okay, want the 3 damage. Common sequence that you'll see with this deck is the 2-cost unit into the 3 damage into the double stun. Ooh, we got our own Esmith. Interesting. Is that it? Is that all you're doing? Nope. We'll trade where we can with this Dustbringer, and then we're kind of stuck otherwise. If he leaves one unit back and then supports the other one, I'm kind of okay with dropping the Dustbringer in front of it since we have the Unspeakable Horror for the cleanup. But oh, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. All right. Get this cleaned up. So we'll see. Like, I'm not entirely certain what this guy's removal package is going to look like, right? He's only got Freylord cards in here. It could be a Troll Chant. And then it could be like some of the various Flash Freeze kind of cards. I would ideally be able to 3 damage the Esmith and then take it down with Diana. And I think we're safe to at least try it. So let's get that started. With the double stun now. Not interested in the lifesteal one just yet. We're going to have to get to playing a bit of a tempo game here as he's leveling up with a ton of chimes. All right, let's wait and see what happens. He looks like he's trying to be a little clever here. I think we might just be looking to get the Fearsome Dog down as well. It does advertise that we don't have the combat tricks, right? We don't have a Pale Cascade, but we can get around quite a bit of things here. And then if we send a 5-attack Diana into the Esmith, we can play around Troll Chant. Oh, we're short of Nightfall, aren't we? I thought we were going to pick up an additional plus attack. All right, let's bring the Thunder. So you can still have a decent Troll Chant onto Diana, but he has to spend the whole thing on her. Otherwise, this is going to be like a 3 Sisters, which I'm fine to train, like 3 Sisters in 5 mana for a Diana. That's not that big of a deal. Uh-huh. Sure. Still got a pretty good looking board. We'll be circling around to a Winding Light turn next turn. Could Nightfalling down here, but it's not quite... he's not quite ready. Gravitum, do your thing. Interesting. I wanna get this Aphelios flip here. Okay, now we should be good to go with dropping the dragon next turn, right? we can pretty easily Nightfall him down. The Dust Petal plus the dragon. Let's get him, Moon Boy. Time to get in there and fuck him up. What you doing, guy? You scared? I don't blame you for being scared. More Esmith, absolutely. I'm a little suspicious of what's going on here, but let's just take it. I don't think it's that big of a problem. We'll just blow up through this next turn. We'd rather go about this way. We kind of give him the opportunity to add more cards, as opposed to just dropping the Winding Light right now. I think I'm okay with this. I think it's fine. It's like the level of interactivity they should have is super low, right? He just has Freylord stuff. He could have another Three Sisters or something, but I don't think we're really afraid of what he's presenting here. Card is pretty big though. I give you that, my friend. Alright, he's got 8, 9, 10, 13. Health in front of our 14, 24. We're going to be a little bit short of lethal, but I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and protect Moon Boy with the Esmith, still attacking with everything else. And then we should be pretty close to finishing this up on the next turn. Or on the next attack token, I should say. Oh, we got exacties. Don't listen to that bust math. It's never any good. Ice shard. Okay. GG, my dude. All right. Always feels good to take down the first one. Didn't try to play a turn 2 Aphelios. Feels pretty good. All right, on to the next one. Always feels good though when you get the when you get the dragon down on the first game, on the first try. You get to say, hey, this is what we're here for. This is what we're doing. Okay, Lowy Jarvan. Let's see, reasonable enough start. It's a decision if we want to hang on to the Aphelios. I don't. It's tough, right? The options aren't that great against like the base Lowy deck, right? It's not great against tentacles. You can double stun a tentacle, but that's not like a real lasting kind of play. But it is pretty decent against the other portion of this deck. I think we're still just going to go ahead and cycle him away. I think we'll have a much more early game board-centric kind of thing happening with the Sky Shadows and Diana. And he's just going to hang out in our hand forever.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
Almost skipped right over the turn. It happens. It happens. Alright, let's try to control the board here just a little bit. It's not a super exciting go hard, but I don't want to like have to attack it with Diana. Like I want to come into this Watchful Idol if we can. We can do this though. We can Sky Shadows again, and then we can Dust Petal Diana onto the board. Let's just get it all going, girl. The thing I've done here was kind of what I was referring to earlier, in that you can easily run out of stuff to do. We've gotten fairly spewy on the stuff we're doing here, fairly devastating sharp sight, but I think it's still worth going for. I mean, I could see an argument for actually just coming in and taking down the Watchful Idol and still getting the trade on the Tentacle, but that's pretty brutal. Get this Fleet Feather Tracker off the board. I'd like to... It's like we're in such a rough spot now, having to take down the Tentacles and take down the Sea's Voice. We don't have the opportunities for card advantage now that we've lost our Diana.
My shield is yours.
Okay.
To the sea, to battle!
Interesting. He doesn't bring the Tentacle. Sure. Alright, we did pick up our big boy. This board sucks. Let's be real, this board's awful. Ugh. Okay. It's like, again, we're in this kind of like give and take to where we have to get the Winding Light going, and we need a big board for that. Maybe that attack was a little bit too greedy, and we should have just stalled and waited. I don't think I liked how I played that turn. Right, if we could come into the next turn and then be ready with a Nightfall, we still wouldn't have the cards to do it, but I think we got a little bit too greedy with our attacks there. On to something good, Doom Beast. We're counting on you, my friend. Do we go for Written in the Stars? I'm kind of leaning towards Golden Sister here, but like we need to get in this space to where we can Nightfall the dragon next turn. And we don't have any cards to really help us with that. We're going to have to... well... Alright. I'm also afraid that we just die next turn. And so... We'll pick up the Golden Sister because we might need the lifesteal. Not really happy about this board, though. Alright, the Guiding Touch will work with the Winding Light. Uh-oh. You can give us a chance? Nope. Fuck. Five, seven out of the Tentacle. So it'd be another 7 out of a Lowy, up to 15 in total. We're gonna have to do too much blocking. Make some more sad noises. I hope you all are grunting at home for me. This is not good. This is not good.
You were misguided.
Right. GG. Get out of here. Get out of here, game. We're trying to concede this. I don't want to watch the fucking movies. At least the Alawi one doesn't take a minute and a half. Alright. GG, my dude. Speaking of Alawi, her Path of Champions has been pretty fun. That was what like got me hooked. I know you like start with Jinx, and then I think it immediately unlocked Alawi for me. I don't know how that works because I've seen a lot of people bitching on Reddit about not having access to Alawi, and so maybe I'm just one of the winners. But it's been pretty fun. I forgot how good it could be. It just like circles back to the place in my head to where I'm like, they could have made such a fun and exciting draft format out of this stuff. Um, if you had access to some of these like relics and you could play these things in constructed, uh, I hope something like that exists in the future. But at any rate, back to this one. The concurrent. Assume this is the concurrent timelines deck with Trundle plus P and Z. I was gonna say they tend to have a lot of targetable uh, early game plays for the go hard, and so I wanted to hang on to go hard and see if we couldn't assemble a good turn a little bit later from now. Right, he's dropping down the 1 health unit immediately. There's the timelines. And so you're gonna say, make us say "Rip Diana." I'm ready though. We got the Nightfall activated. I will charge in on your bro. Ooh, maybe we are playing aggro Nightfall today. You gotta get the fearsome dogs out of here. Oh, Rip Diana. Pretty healthy chunk though. What you got for us, dude? We're gonna like going into the next turn. We're probably just gonna have to open. We can't run into this space to where our opponent displays Trundle. We interact with Trundle poorly with our units, and so we have to kind of keep that in mind. We need to be able to open attack next turn and say hopefully he just plays some stuff that we can come down and kill, but doesn't seem like he's gonna play nicely. So I was like leaning towards getting the Doom Beast down. We could of course just go for Aphelios, but maybe that's the way to take it. We can pick up the Aphelios. Probably would have to go for the 3 damage one. But again, that plays poorly into Trundle. This doesn't feel like the time to be dropping Doom Beasts. Alright. See what we draw. Where are you at? 3 damage. We could go for the unit, but maybe we take the unit, but we're just not going to play it next turn. Maybe that's how we go about it. Fancier part 2, sure.
It's an awesome day for progress.
Okay. So we should get a couple of points of damage in here. Again, not giving him the opportunity to play Trundle. It's just way too much for us to have to deal with. He doesn't Mystic Shot in combat, which is good. If he tries to Mystic Shot after the fact, we still have Guiding Touch and the like to protect Aphelios.
We made it. Yay.
Yay! Aw. We drew the Winding Light and then just lost it. Don't need the lifesteal. We're pretty healthy. Healthy as you can be.
A crystal path opens before us.
And Priestess. Let's see if we can't find a big boy. No big boys, but the Traveler should get some work done.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
Okay. I don't hate it.
You get all that?
Does the Immortal Fire just win the game against this deck? It'll be 2 turns before we can attack with it. It's probably a little bit safer just to go for the Serpent. It doesn't feel like he has Trundle, so just getting the full board seems kind of good. It's a little scary when he has a Poison Dart in hand, but he's going to throw it on Aphelios. Yeah. Sure. Hi friends, let's get in there. Let's get the damages done. We're gonna lose our Doom Beast. It's so awkward being at this stage of the game and the Aloof Travelers is taking down our 3-cost units. I mean, I guess we don't have a ton of expensive stuff in our deck, but man, he's done that twice. He's hit that expensive card twice. Dang, dude. We have 3 Doom Beast activations in our hand, and so we could be pretty close to getting lethals here. Right? We have the Doom Beast, and then we have the Unto Dusk to activate it again. Okay. Feels good. I think we're gonna do it. Comes the Go Hard. Nice little 1-mana spell. And here come the Nightfalls. Uh-oh, Stickler. Uh-oh. Boom 'em. Nice. GG, my friend. GG. That's what you get for cycling away our dragons. Looks like a dragon, is not a dragon. I'm sure somebody will let me know what that thing actually is. Cool. All right. Found ourselves that wonderful opponent. I can't wait. Make us wait all day. Maybe you are back to play an expedition. I miss it. That's when we got all the good chat with the viewer time in. You had to wait 30 to 90 seconds on a game to be found. So you took that away from me, Riot. That was not cool. All right, but here I could see an argument for hanging on to Go Hard, but I think it's more important to try and find the units. Right, we need Diana, we need Sky Shadows, and we need Lunari Duskbringers. And I'd rather just hard mulligan to look for those as opposed to holding on to Go Hard and then hoping we find a piece of that puzzle. Found a Go Hard. Go along with this Diana. Not a great start against the Viego deck.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
There's nothing we can do about Elise. We can try and take her down next turn, but nothing's happening here. This is where we'll draw the Sky Shadows. once we've spent all this time getting the spell manta built up. Okay, we'll use Diana and take down the Elise. We can circle back to the Camaveran Soldier. I don't want him out here just generating units all day. We don't have great answers to that. So we'll let him keep the better unit for now. The stronger unit, I should say. Objectively better is Elise. Stronger unit is Camaveran Soldier. This is a fairly big bank. I think I'm kind of okay with just deploying the Go Hard now. and get the soldier set up for next turn. I don't want to overbank too heavily here. Now we can just slam Diana into the soldier. Surprised he's not attacking. This means you have a Viego for this turn. Alright, well, let's see what we find. Not a great one. I think we want to go for the Living Legends here. This is the most powerful one that we can get access to. Meteor Shower just doesn't kill a ton of stuff in his deck. The units are also big. Like, Viego almost immediately gets big enough. So, I think this is an okay unit here. Sure.
Hearts unshackled.
Rip Diana. Do we want to go ahead and pick up another invoke? I think we do. Let's see where this gets us.
But they could not break me.
Hey, just draw more Dianas. Go us. Learn from the master. Learn from the master. Not a bad pickup against this dumb deck either. The Great Beyond is fairly tough for them to deal with. Third go hard gets us close to pack your bags range. Pack your bags is a realistic cast in this deck. It's not super common, but it's definitely something that you'll see. Okay, we're gonna have to take a bit of preemptive damage here, but it's not horrible. All right, that gets us there. We can play the Pack Your Bags this turn. Let's see what opponent does. Shouldn't have, like, too many ways to interact with this Diana. At least the versions of this deck that I've played, I wasn't playing Ravenous Flock. I was just playing the Vile Feasts and the Drain and then the Vengeance. So there's the world is your oyster in terms of removals you can be playing in here, but they shouldn't have too many like direct options to deal with this Diana. Okay. Let's make some KDA noises. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sure. Yeah, dances and stuff. KDA noises. Let's get him. This will take him to 7, which is right in range for the Great Beyond to take down. Looks good. So if we get to Vengeance, whatever he plays this turn, and then drop the Great Beyond next turn, I think that feels okay. No, thank you, Viego. Get out of here. It's not Vigio time just yet. Let's see. We might as well, I think, go ahead and add Aphelios, right? We're just going to tap out for the Great Beyond next turn. And so let's just go ahead and flood the board. We're not going to use Aphelios this game. Like, I wish we could just say no thank you to the Moon Weapon. I would rather just not have it so we could generate something else with Living Legends, but I think we're in a pretty game-ending space here. Got him. GG. Get them bags packed. Ooh. I think I'm probably pretty glad I didn't really play constructed in the meta with the Twisted Fate Go Hard decks. I feel like that was probably a pretty miserable time of Runeterra, but we were just playing Expedition, so we didn't have to deal with that stuff. But feels good when we get to do it now. All right, next battle. Getting them with the Celestials. We've done a nice little mishmash of how you can kill people with this. We've gotten the looks like a dragon, not a dragon kill. We've gotten the big Celestial kill. We've gotten the Doom Beast kill. And so a variety of ways to come in and just finish this thing off. Feels good. Feels good, man. Okay, Ezreal, Annie. I do worry like how much you can rely on the likes of what's her name? Let me get this sorted here. The likes of Diana against Dex packing Mystic Shot. But with this hand, it's a little awkward in that I want to have a Nightfall unit for the Sky Shadows, but I don't really want it to be Doom Beast. I mean, maybe we can just go ahead and get rid of Doom Beast and look for something else. And then we can at least start off with the Spacey Sketcher here. All right, we found him. We're good at this game. I am going to go ahead and discard the Winding Light. I'm not waiting until turn 7 to get him online. And then Moonglow. It is kind of tempting to try and load up Aphelios with a Moonglow, but I feel like that might just be too slow. We should be banking up mana pretty quickly, though, right? We're going to bank up 2 with the Sky Shadows here right at the start, and we can go into turn 3 and Aphelios Moonglow. We have to get a random Moon Weapon this way, right? If we play the Aphelios first, the Moonglow second, then we didn't hit that Nightfall for Aphelios, but it does at least count for the 2 cards thing. All right, I'm not excited about this, but we can go ahead and make these trades. Like, these units are just going to die extremely easily to the likes of a Static Shock, and I don't want to just have the value drained away. I mean, I guess we did just get 2 for 1 off of the... Get 2 for 1 off of the whatever you're called, the spider, but we just have to come in and clear that stuff out. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I thought we got another one. That was our second card for the turn. Oops. Oh, 2 other cards. My bad. My bad, Aphelios. I thought you were better than that. Who plays this card? Is opponent scared now? Are you scared? You're gonna take a bunch of cards to take him down now. Oh, and the dragon's back. Okay. Rip it and roll it. Is that a marijuana reference? That would be roll it and rip it, I do believe, but... Okay. See where this gets us. It seems like he has some choice things for Aphelios here. Do we want to just go ahead and throw him in front of Annie? We're never gonna have an answer. It's, like, the Disintegrate is what would be kind of awful here. Yeah, I don't like that as much anymore. That was perhaps too greedy. I was just I was thinking it to myself. I was like, well, if this Annie gets to stick around, we don't have any way to actually answer her. And this was like our one opportunity to take her down before Tibbers could show up. But I mean, if you even think of this at like the lowest level, you have to be like, he's not just going to throw his Annie away without some kind of answer into our big Aphelios. We should have just taken this. That was pretty meh. Pretty meh. Alright, what do we got coming out of these? Meteor Shower could be useful. Cosmic Inspiration's going to be too slow. How much mana we have next turn? 6 and 1 bank would take us to 7. It's like, I don't think the Trickster's going to do anything, but we're never winning the game just with Meteor Showers. We're just going to have some of this go right and just blow them up with a big attack. Like, we could have maybe worked our way around this a bit if we had protected our Aphelios, but I think we kind of gave up on that and screwed this up. Should have just taken the 2 damage and accepted Tibbers as in our future. Learning from bust. Don't do that. You're better than that. You saw that and said, "What's this idiot doing?" Out here ruining the win rate for this delightful Nightfall deck.
I wanna play.
All right, what up, Tibbers?
I wanna play a game of hide and burn.
All right. Not ideal. This one's realistically done. Let's just go ahead and scooch on out of here. He's gonna kill a unit with Tibber and kill a unit with Mystic Shot, and we're not gonna be able to recover from that. And so I don't want to say that we would have won that game had we not thrown Aphelios away, but we would have at least had an opportunity to be in a better spot. Right. Sure, this is going to be an exciting battle. I'm already feeling good about it. Probably not playing Mystic Shot. Lysandra Talia. All right, that's what our previous video was. I worry about this one a little bit. When we're out here trying to drop like Dianas and the Sky Shadows, and then our opponent is like, "LOL, here's an AOE." It's a little tough for us to deal with, and so I'm kind of curious into what we should keep as our early game plays. It's like I'm kind of interested in Pale Cascade as a way to kind of dodge an AOE, but I don't feel great about that. I want to feel great about it. Okay, not a ton to do with our mana here. We're gonna get all these Sky Shadow bonuses, but then have no spells to play. All right, I'm bringing it. Incoming heat, feel it. Not ideal. It's kind of curious how we're going to handle this go hard. Like drawing the guiding touch is kind of nice. Gives us a way to at least like churn off a Nightfall, and then regenerate some of this mana. We need big hits out of these Lunari Priestesses. Ideally, we'll get something going with them next turn. Now the problem here, I'm gonna take the Scourge. I don't think we're gonna get to 10. I mean, we could take Equinox. You can Equinox one of these big 8/8 dum-dums, but I'm thinking big here. And like, how are we ever gonna win this game? And we have to have things kind of go right with the Winding Light. We maybe find the time to play the Scourge or something. I'm not saying this is a good plan. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like our angle to perhaps take this down is to get a board, win with the Winding Light, or with the Lunari Priestess to hit a good Celestial and maybe get to hit twice. If we hit the like the Overwhelmer for 7 mana or an Elusive for 8 mana, we might get to chunk something in here. I'm just going to dig for it. I don't think Aphelios is really doing anything here. Okay. This is not... Our future is not promising. Okay. I'll go ahead and let you know that now. Crescent Strike, not what I was looking for.
Change is coming.
All right. The most obvious Pale Cascade 2022 Here we come. I'm bringing it. That was super obvious, right? I'm going to attack with my 2-2, not my 3-1. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Not telegraphing anything here. Yeah, you got Talia for us. We haven't even dealt a point of damage this game. Oh, this is so bad. Alright, we can Crescent Strike these dum-dums. Play Aphelios. Maybe we pick up a double stun with Aphelios. That buys us a bit of time. Man, it's so tough to even get overwhelmed through these things. Alright, this game's done. Let's be real. That matchup is atrocious. I wouldn't be surprised to see that be like an 80-20 matchup in their favor. Like I don't know how you win that. It just has to be one of those games to where like they mulligan and then they draw a hand of like 3 Talias. And then you have a shot in that game, but nothing like that was good. All right, this Annie deck again. Whew. Tough stuff. Tough stuff. All right, same deal. We want the Dustbringer, we want Diana's, we want the Sky Shadows. At least we hit 2. Pretty good. We'll try to play a little bit better this time around Annie, not run our Aphelios directly into Disintegrates.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime. Oh, I want to play.
Alright, no blocks. So we'll get this Diana going. Again, she's kind of worrisome here. They play Mystic Shot, right? Let's do some quick mathematics on if Mystic Shot can kill Diana. It can, you know. I'm here to provide you with that kind of knowledge. It does, and so we have to worry a little bit about this. But if this is successful, it feels great. Lame ass. Just calling it like I see it, Snowful. Lame ass playing Mystic Shots. I don't want to go out of my way and say that this guy probably plays chess by himself on Friday nights, but it's getting pretty close though. It wouldn't surprise me. Burning. Alright, we're going to go for the double go hard here and then follow up with the Aphelios. I want the Aphelios to get us a unit for the next turn if we can. It's a nice little turn of build-up. Maybe we'll get to pack our bags again. Don't expect big things out of this Aphelios. Dude's just hanging out with 6 mana, not playing anything. He's gonna get popped. But, you know, if they have to spend 6 mana on a Thermogenic Beam, that's pretty good. If they have to spend 2 spells, that's pretty good as well. Right? If we get a 3-for-1 out of Aphelios, I'm not having too many complaints about it. Static Shock, sure. Maybe we can protect through a Scorched Earth or something. Diana shows up. Alright. We're ready to party. I don't think Calibrum's that good here. Maybe we should have gone for the lifesteal as our next one, but it does let us take down a station archivist. So it's not nothing.
Go on, Fang. Like I taught you.
By the moon's crescent blade.
And I don't want to spend this mana. I want to be able to play around a Mystic Shot onto Aphelios. Or maybe if he tries to Scorch Earth, we can get him. It's all about getting him, you know? one of my it's one of my hobbies. Annie, very. I wonder. Excuse me. I wonder if he played Annie for a. I'm losing my voice for a disintegrate flip. Excuse me. I guess you could play her as well, just as a means to get a tick up if he's gonna play a burn spell or something here. Play a fast spell, then she gets the bonus. Okay. Interesting. Uh-oh. We gonna pack our bags? Uh-oh. Alright, so how are we gonna start handling this stuff? It's like I kind of want to get Priestess down, but she's not super exciting at the moment. Let's just start slow. Pick up the double stun again. Not really in range of taking a lifesteal here, but this does kind of advertise, hey, we can kill your dum dum with the Viper Worm. See if he's into that kind of thing. Not a bad spot for a removal spell. Get that extra bit of damage in. Okay. What we got? Got a good one? Not really. Not really. We're picking up double stun off of the Aphelios as well, so we're pretty locked and loaded in terms of stuns, but we can't supernova here. We don't have another celestial, so. Alright. Maybe if we play our Nightfalls right next turn, we can just hope to hit with the big Diana. Maybe that's an angle. Okay, well, let's start it up. I mean, we have the stuns onto 2 units, and then Doom Beast is the Drain, plus he's also going to boost Diana. We have another Drain plus Diana booster in the Unspeakable Horror. Like, we can realistically chunk in a lethal amount of damage here. Now he says, uh-oh. What's this? This is the generate 2-cost cards thing. You generate 3 2-cost cards, and then they all cost 0. I mean, I think I feel good about that. He has to hit a lot out of that, especially in terms of something that can answer Diana. And if like he's just generating a bunch of like small cheapo units, we might be able to actually just like go hard one of them. Let's see. Onslaught of Shadows. Yeah. Okay, let's make our way through this, I guess. We can't get Diana in this turn now. So it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we want to play Gravitum, right? This sucks so much. Okay. Oh god, I clicked on something. Alright, we picked up the 2-cost thing. I got a little aggressive on my clicking there. Onslaught of Shadow costs 3. Maybe it used to cost 3 and they reduced the cost when it became 2/2s, but powerful stuff. It's definitely gonna screw us over here. I mean, this if we needed an overwhelm fragment for this turn. I can't remember how that played out. Yeah. Right. We went Calibrum. We could have generated the lifesteal. I was curious if we missed on generating the overwhelm. Well, that was a big shutdown. Well done, dude. Well done, Duderino.
Thought you'd never ask.
All right, let's start with something. Yeah, you can still pack our bags and win the game, right? That was our third go hard. We got a big card draw on this guiding touch.
I know your true heart.
We just keep playing stuff and trying to dig. Fucking YOLO, am I right? All right, we drew the not a dragon, and so maybe we can get something out of this. Maybe. Hopefully we're healthily out of burn range. Probably not, but we'll take what we can get here. He's got so much mana and so many cards, though. This is pretty scary. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just kill us with Ezreal. That might be like good for us though, if he just tries to get an Ezreal kill.
I wanna play a game of
We have the surprise heal coming out. Alright. I'm going greedy. I'm going to just go ahead and drop the crescendum and say that we have to have this to win the game next turn. And so I'm just going to go ahead and drop it. If we needed the extra point of heal from the Unspeakable Horror, we weren't winning this game anyways. Oh, we're dead. Alright. Rip it. That's a tough matchup, though.
Not live in fear.
Oh, where are we at? 3 and 4. Okay. Final battle. Whew. Made it to 8 games in this one. We've been cutting them a little short if we're playing these longer decks. This should count as a longer deck, right? I mean, it's got Aphelios. It's got all these drain cards in it. So, I mean, that makes sense to me. All right, here, I'm good to hang on to the Unspeakable Horror with this hand. If they play something like a Dredgers in the early game, then it's pretty nice to be able to add Diana, the Sky Shadows, and then get that Dum-Dum off the board so he can't come in and get good blocks. Or, if their start involves just having like a Sea Scarab, being able to quick attack challenge down a Sea Scarab with the Unspeakable Horror plus Diana. And so I'm interested in hanging on to it here. A little worried about this matchup, though. Now that they have the new Drain card. They have in days past when Nightfall was doing battle with the sea monsters, you didn't have to worry about 2 damage cards. Unless they'd go up to like Grasp of the Undying is kind of an expensive thing, but our Diana's a little bit more risk now that 2 damage drain is a thing. sump passage, swamp drain, whatever it's called. You know, hope the intern just like watches and takes notes on the wonderful names that we give them to use. Swamp passage, sump drains. I mean, these will be cards in the future. You wait, you wait. Hanging on to this unspeakable horror though, so we can try and use it in combat if we need to.
By the moon's crescent length.
Vessel small, but she ain't lacking.
It's kind of lame, dude. Just putting it out there. That's kind of lame to play like that. Trying to put the surprise challenges on our Dianas. Nah, dude. Not cool. Not cool. If you like to have fun, you wouldn't do that kind of thing. This is kind of a brutal turn, though. We picked up a bunch of expensive things. It's not work how we want. We've got to do it this way. I wanted to draw a card more than I wanted to pick up a Nightfall. But okay. Pretty sucky, pretty sucky. Just a little too much expensive stuff here. You could see if we had like a good piece of cycle here, then we would have been able to not just churn through all these Nightfall things. Fairly problematic. Cygnus is kind of interesting though. They tend to play between like 0 and 1 sea monsters, or 0 and 1 Abyssal Eye, I should say. This is a tough turn. I think we can let the Wanderer hang out, but it's like if we're going to Spacey Sketcher, what do we actually discard here? I think we need like all of this expensive stuff. I don't. We can probably get rid of the dragon thing. It's just going to take too much effort to get to that.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
All right, this sucks quite a bit. The amount of suck this is quite a bit. Oh god, we're so dead this game. Alright, Trickster, we're counting on you. You gotta get the little chunkies in. I'm going to hold on to Sky Shadow. We can just play it next turn if we need to. But I want to have a... If we pick up an Unspeakable Horror or something that we need to Nightfall, I want to have him ready to go. $18's really close to deep. Six and 5 is 11. Kinda close to lethal. We can get enough time, we might get something in there. The typical problem with the sea monsters deck is getting that that final crushing blow in. Okay. Getting close. It's like we're not going to be able to get a Winding Light kill is the thing that worries me. Like I'm curious if we shouldn't have just sent it to the next turn and then tried to play the Winding Light on our opponent's turn and then roll back to our turn and try and give the Winding Light elusive. It sounds pretty challenging to pull off though. I was hoping he'd have some heal. All right, we can still be in it though. We got we have a variety of invokes. We can win with an invoke. We can win with a good hit on something. Maybe we get the trickster a few more points of overwhelm damage, and he can do something cool. If we hit a Nightfall thing, an Unto Dusk, we can Unto Dusk a Cygnus and maybe get some damage in. This game's not completely done. May find ourselves kind of like dead to an atrocity next turn or something, but and an elusive. Better lucky than good, as they say. Tough decision here. You've got the full board, full of sea monsters. Should I attack? let me stop and think about this one for a little bit. I'm not quite sure if I should be attacking here. This is a big decision that one has to make.
You won't stop us.
Don't want to lose Cygnus. Hang on. Where does this get us? Okay. To 3. So we die to Atrocity, whatever. We die to a... we die to Rally, but we've left ourselves maximum opportunities here in what we can dig up next turn. We have to hold on to Pale Cascade, though. We can't just be like naturally drawing it Unto Dusk and not getting the Nightfall effect out of it. All right, what you got for us, game? Sure. Of course, this would be the place to draw Treasure Trove. I don't think this does it, but let's get that dragon attack in, am I right? These blocks are pretty straightforward. Okay, GG. And so, interesting set of games. Like we can pull up this deck and talk about it a little bit more. It's just like I'm not like entirely sure how good a deck like this is like in the current meta. There's kind of like two things that I say with a deck like this is like, is this good in the current meta? And that's tough, right? If you're playing against a lot of sea monsters, they have the additional drain, and so you're running into both Vile Feast and the drain, and you have all of these 1 health units in your deck. If you're playing against any of the flavors of Ezreal, then they all have the Mystic shots to take down your Diana, and it's really kind of worrisome when you see Annie deck playing Blade's Edge and you're trying to play cards like the Sky Shadow. And so like it worries me from that angle. And then from the next angle is this the best way you can take advantage of Aphelios? And maybe not. Like I don't think that this deck is probably better than something like like an Aphelios Fizz. I still think that deck is probably like right at the top of the meta, but this can certainly still take down some games and stuff. And so if it's not going to be good in the current meta, like I try to think of the world where it would be good. And I think that's kind of in that space to where like unit-based, ground-based things are kind of good. And so this would be good against, some of the just kind of like fairies decks. It's decent against, I would see it being decent against like basically anything Bandle City. You should have a pretty decent time against, and things that are just unit based. I think this would probably also be reasonably strong against pirates, and then reasonably strong against things like the Sun Disk. And so it's just a little rough though, as we're in this current meta where there's just so many Vile Feasts running around. It's not a real good day to be playing decks that are kind of susceptible to Vile Feast. You see them in the Viego decks that are big. You see them in Sea Monsters, which are big, and then running up against the various Ezreal or Annie decks where they have loads of burn spells. Not that great for this style of deck either, right? Because so many of our units are just ignorable. And so if you're not able to get that early game in to where you like either you say, okay, I'm the aggro, I chunk in a bunch of damage, or you get to say, okay, I'm the control, how do I build up to Aphelios? It just becomes too tough to kind of pull that thing off. And so I don't think this is exactly the answer to the format. I think this is a deck that you could certainly use to climb quite a bit with. But I think it's something that's probably going to struggle in the face of all the Vile Feasts and all of the undergrowths and all of the Mystic Shots that are running around. It's a little tough to get past all of that. But it felt like some of those matchups were winnable, but we were kind of struggling on champions. I think the note that I would kind of like leave you with is it felt like the games that we were really winning all involved Aphelios. And is this the best way you can take advantage of Aphelios? I think that's probably the best the best note to kind of take away from this is the Winding Light was nice and great, but that's the question you're asking is what is the best way to take advantage of Aphelios? And that's probably just Aphelios Fizz or even like Aphelios Victor or one of those more grindy board control-y kind of things where you can control deck your opponent a little bit harder than we have access to here with just some pings and a couple of vengeances. But nonetheless, I had fun. We got to get our, hey, I'm a dragon, not a dragon on the board. We won some games. We got to pack our bags. Lots of cool stuff going on here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I had fun with it. I hope you had fun with it too. I hope you learned how to visibly discern the difference between a dragon and some kind of space creature. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. Had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.